Joining us now from Newton, Massachusetts is Nancy Walkley, the attorney who blew the whistle on Andrew Kissel's scheme. Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
When did you realize that something was wrong?
Well, I was involved in 2 real estate transactions with Mr. Kissel through his attorney, and the fact that there were 2 back-to-back transactions, each with some unusual circumstances, led us to be a little suspicious and caused us to scrutinize some of the documents that were being involved with these various properties he was developing, and ultimately led us to conclude that something was not right. There was a fraud going on.
Yeah, you suspected forgery. Is that true?
Well, it was forgery and fraudulent releases of mortgages, so that he was effectively on the land records freeing up his titles so that he could borrow more and more money against them, when in reality those were fake releases, and all of the banks involved still had live mortgages on the properties.
And you had been involved in transactions involving Andrew Kissel before. When you saw what you thought was a discrepancy here, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, because the first transaction was unusual in that a mortgage showed up at the last minute that shouldn't have been there. When the second transaction came up, and initially there was no mortgage on the record, then there was a mortgage. We ultimately obtained copies of all of the releases in the 2 chains of title on these properties, and noticed that there were the same notary used for multiple banks, which is impossible.
Sure. Had you ever seen anything like this before in your experience?
Never. Not in this extent.